Greetings and salutations, my lovelies! This is Bardic Kitty here, and I have another speed paint for you. This one, as I said on my post on my Facebook page, is going to be a full illustration. The size is 11 by 17, and I hope to make prints of it to have at conventions soon. This is also a fan art, which I don't do very often, but the character is from the Scooby Doo series Mystery Incorporated, which is one of the newer series, I think 2011 or something, don't quote me on that. But her name is Angel Dynamite. She's a super foxy, awesome DJ person that they hang out with sometimes, and I just really like her design and wanted to draw something a little different and fun, so there you go. That's what I did. In this drawing I will use, my pretty standard materials. It's Bristol board paper, which is or Bristol paper, whatever, is almost always what I use. I did use a brush pen on this one again, which, like I said in the last video, I don't do very often, but I've been trying to do a bit more with. And then Copic markers, and here in a bit you'll see with the background I did something kind of different. I'm doing these circle things, and those are going to be filled in with different colors, which admittedly I feel like I didn't do a very good job of deciding how to handle the background the way I wanted to. I was wanting to drip the various inks on it, which you'll see me kind of try to do, and instead I ended up basically just like painting in the various inks. And really, at that point I should have just switched to using the markers. I probably wasted a lot of ink, but I don't care. I really like the way it turned out anyway. Hopefully you will as well. Yeah, just watch the video and enjoy. I will maybe say some more things if I come up with anything else while I'm watching this and seeing if I want to add any additional comments. Hope you enjoy it! Alright, so this is the part I was talking about where I started using the various inks, and I wanted to just drip it and have it spread, but the circles were just a bit too big and they didn't spread that far on their own. So I kind of played with some different things. At first I was using a paintbrush, and that just seemed to be wasting time, so I started just kind of using the tip of the various ink. I don't know what you'd call that. Using the tip of the various ink container to kind of just swirl it around and make sure that it fills the space. And it's still got a bit of the same effect as I wanted, just not quite. Used Blender to try to fix up a couple of my areas where it got messy, but thankfully most of those were in places that will be covered with some highlights later on. So I think I did pretty good. Oh, I also started out with a slightly lighter skin tone, and you'll see I switch here after putting in some more details on this arm because I felt like it didn't properly represent the character's skin tone from the show. So that is, I believe, what I'm doing right now, and the rest of it will be this darker color. And again, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll be back on if I think of anything else that I forgot to mention. So I got to about here and remembered that she's supposed to have this really bright eyeshadow on, and I checked the picture and I'm like, if I keep going with this really dark skin tone there on her eyelids, I'm not gonna be able to make that work. So I had to stop, and that's why the one is kind of whatever. And here I went in with the colorless blender to kind of pull up some of that dark brown and add in the green, and it's not as visible in the video as it is in the final piece, but I think I did a pretty good job of fixing that little piece. Of course, I am very bad at doing the whole plugging myself, talking myself up, that sort of thing. I feel like that's something a lot of artists have an issue with, so I'm probably not alone there. But I do have a Facebook page. I believe I mentioned it earlier in the video, and it's just facebook.com/BardicKitty. And that is always linked in the description for my videos so that it's easy for you guys to find. I do also have a Patreon page. Patreon, if you're not familiar with it, is a place for artists and other types of creators to put their work out for people to see and support them. Basically, it's kind of a donation per month or project, depending on what kind of creator you are, and it allows people to basically become patrons of artists that they enjoy. So, I have a page on Patreon. It's also linked in the description, and don't feel like you have to support me on there, but it is another way, if you support me there, to see more of what I'm doing outside of these weekly videos. So that's there as well. And just keep an eye on the Facebook page in particular, because I do post about future videos, or in particular, if I know that there's a week coming up that I'm not going to have a video, I'll make sure to put an information on that there so that you guys know ahead of time. And that should be pretty much it, and thank you very much for listening. actually a lot of fun to color in because it's not something I've really done before, and I got to play with it and do little like swirls and curls and with the markers as I was coloring it to try to keep a little bit of the texture. And it's just, I don't know, something I might do more of in the future because it was just a little different than what I usually do. And so now I'm putting in the final details with the white pen. This is the new one or the new marker that I found that I've mentioned in another video, and I love the way it works, and it worked really good in particular with this piece. So I'm filling in some little details, and now I have this super fun, dancing, amazing, foxy chick who I am really happy with the way it turned out. Just a note on the background, I was going for kind of like a disco lights in the background on the dance floor kind of feel while still keeping it pretty simple. Hopefully you like it, and yeah, just keep watching for future videos, and I love you all.